Nathan Cole's voice tore through the hallway as he stopped short at the doorway of the primary bedroom, rain still clinging to his coat. His eyes locked on Lena Carter, sitting upright on the bed, shock frozen across her face. On both sides of her, Noah and Lucas, 6 years old, slept at last. One clutched a stuffed animal, chests rising in steady rhythm. Silence pressed hard, then shattered again. "I can explain," Lena whispered, palms open, barely breathing. She glanced at the boys. They were scared. One was crying. The other, Nathan, moved before the words landed. The sound of skin against skin cracked the room. Lena stumbled back, breath ripped from her chest, hand flying to her cheek. She didn't scream. Her eyes stayed on his, stunned, shaking, absorbing the pain without a sound. "Get out," he said, voice rough. "You're done here." She steadied herself, swallowing. "They asked me to stay." They finally felt safe. "Now," he snapped. Lena looked once more at the boys, still calm, still asleep. She bent, kissed Lucas's hair, then Noah's. Shoes in hand, she passed Nathan without another word. He didn't stop her. He didn't speak. On the stairs, Mrs. Rowan froze when she saw Lena's face. The mark told the story. Lena kept moving. Outside, the rain had softened to mist. She stepped through the gate of the Cole residence, shoulders tight, breath shallow, walking away from something that had already claimed her heart. Minutes later, Nathan stood alone in the bedroom. The quiet felt wrong. He stepped closer. No sweat, no shaking, just sleep. Real sleep. 14 aides. Specialists. Endless nights of screaming. And Lena, quiet, steady, had done what no one else could. He sank onto the bed, hands covering his face as shame burned through him. On the nightstand lay a folded message. If you can't protect them, don't push away the ones who will. Down the hall, Mrs. Rowan spoke softly. She didn't touch anything, only stayed because they begged her. Nathan didn't answer. His reflection stared back, burdened, unraveling. After nightfall, the house felt hollow. In his private office, Nathan sat with untouched dark liquor, reading the message again. His hand still stung. He hadn't planned the strike, but he'd done it. The truth crushed him. He went upstairs, past the children's room, and noticed a drawing pad left on a stool. Inside, 2 boys beneath a tree, a figure between them. The one who stays in the family kitchen, Mrs. Rowan, folded linens. "She's gone," he said. "I know. I made a mistake." She didn't soften it. "You weren't thinking, I need to find her. Start with a return address. Port Rowan. Cross town." Lena sat on a bench near the transit stop, cheek aching, hands wrapped around a lukewarm hot drink. She hadn't cried when he yelled, not when he hit her. But now tears slipped free. She wiped them fast. She'd survived worse. Still, those boys had reached something fragile inside her. A train hissed to a stop. Her ticket read, Port Rowan. She didn't board at dawn. Nathan carried breakfast into the boys' room. He knelt beside the bed. "Where's Lena?" Lucas asked. "She had to leave," Nathan said. "Did you yell?" "Yes." "Did you hit her?" Noah asked, voice small. Nathan nodded. Both boys turned away. His knees buckled. "I'll fix this," he whispered. Midweek afternoon, Lena took a bus to a shelter she once volunteered at, teaching a writing session. She spoke about staying when it's hardest. As she left, a note was tucked into her bike wheel. "They chose you." Later, Nathan entered a Warren community center. Lena stood by a whiteboard, laughter around her. When she saw him, her posture changed. Outside by the bus stop, he spoke fast. "I was wrong. I let fear control me." "You didn't believe me?" she said, tired, steady. "They need connection," she continued. "Not in control. Come back, only with conditions. No cameras. Dinner together. Rules written with the boys. In one final line, raise your hand again, and I'm gone. Understood?" Nathan cleared the table himself. He tried telling a story. The boys laughed. Upstairs, Noah whispered. She's coming back. How do you know? Because she said goodbye. At dawn, Lena returned. Simon opened the door. The boys ran. She caught Lucas, hugged Noah, and accepted a drawing. You never truly left in the family kitchen. Breakfast waited. Lena opened her personal log. We make the rules together. Crayon scraped paper. One rule came first, knock before entering. No yelling near bedtime, Lena said, circling the line with her pen. Then sliding the paper toward Noah and Lucas. Both boys leaned over like it was a secret map, and their shoulders relaxed for the first time all morning. As if rules could actually keep monsters out, ask before hugs, Noah added, eyes serious. Because sometimes my chest feels tight. Lucas nodded fast. And pancakes on Sundays. Nathan's jaw twitched like he wanted to argue. Then he wrote anyway, careful and quiet. Like the ink was a promise he couldn't afford to break. Lena wrote her own without looking up. Listen first. Apologize when you're wrong. No cameras. No exceptions. Nathan swallowed. He added one more line in neat. Controlled letters, make room for forgiveness even when it's hard. His hand trembled at the end of the sentence. Lena taped the page to the refrigerator with 2 sun-shaped magnets. These are the new rules, she said, and the boys stared at the paper like it could protect their sleep. Later, the boys chased each other across the back lawn near the large tree, laughter cutting through the air. Nathan found Lena in the reading room sorting children's books into stacks. He stood in the doorway instead of walking in, like he remembered the rule already. They're different, he said, voice low. Lena slid one book onto a shelf. Or they always had it in them, and no one gave them room, she replied, calm but firm. Nathan took a step closer, then stopped again, as if his own fear was a leash. I'm different too, he admitted, and it sounded like it hurt to say. Lena finally met his eyes. I believe that, she said, and the words landed like a fragile kind of hope. He exhaled. What you did? Leaving, coming back. You didn't owe me that. Lena's face didn't soften for him. I did it because they deserved it, she said. I wasn't going to let your mistake become their lesson. And the truth stung him worse than any insult. Nathan's shoulders fell. Tell me how to be better. Start by being present, Lena said. Not just when it feels good, and his guilt had nowhere to hide. That night, Nathan tucked the boys in himself. He read one story, then butchered the words so badly, the boys giggled and corrected him. Lena watched from the hallway, not stepping in, letting Nathan earn the moment with his own hands. When the lights went out, Nathan walked Lena toward the entry hall. His voice was hesitant, like he was afraid the wrong sentence could ruin everything. About what you said. Not being staff. Being more, he started. Lena folded her arms. If this is a fancy promotion speech, save it, she warned. And her cheeks seemed to throb at the memory he couldn't erase. It's not a title, Nathan said. It's a voice. Lena blinked. I want to build something, he continued. Not just for Noah and Lucas. For other kids who've lost something and don't know where to put the hurt. Lena's throat tightened. A community initiative. Nathan nodded. You guide it. I'll fund it. Pain rose first, because she knew what big money could do to good intentions. Then a spark of hope because the idea felt real. Then fear because people would watch, judge, twist it. She lifted her chin. Only on our terms. No public circus. No fake kindness for applause. Nathan's answer came fast. Agreed. She extended her hand. Then we have a deal, Mr. Cole. He shook it, steadying himself. Call me Nathan, he said, and it sounded like he was asking to be human again. As Lena walked to her secondary bedroom, her own space, she paused outside the boys' room. Inside, Lucas whispered. She came back, Noah murmured. I told you, like he'd been holding that faith with both hands. Lena pressed her palm to the doorframe. I did, she whispered to herself. And the words felt like a vow with teeth. 20 days later, the house didn't feel like a museum anymore. Breakfast got messy. Bath time got loud. The refrigerator rules were worn at the edges from constant pointing and arguments. Nathan learned how to fold tiny socks and failed at braiding hair so badly the boys laughed until they wheezed. And that sound healed something in all of them. But late evening brought a different kind of quiet. Lena walked the halls after nightfall, trying to calm the old ache in her chest. A sliver of light leaked from the reading room door. She pushed it open and found Nathan slumped at the desk, phone in one hand, a glass of dark liquor in the other, like he'd been losing a war without telling anyone. "Bad news?" Lena asked. Nathan flinched, then turned the screen toward her. The subject line hit like a punch. Guardianship review. Notice of motion. Lena's breath caught. "For the boys?" Nathan nodded, jaw tight. Daniel Whitmore and Claire Whitmore filed. "They're claiming I'm unfit," he said, and the shame in his voice was almost worse than the anger. "On what grounds?" Lena asked, already bracing. Nathan swallowed. "Neglect. Emotional instability. And the incident," he said, and the word tasted like rust. Pain came first because it was real. Hope next because the boys were finally stabilizing. Fear after that because someone wanted to rip it apart. Lena leaned in, voice firm. "Then we don't face them alone. We show what healing actually needs," she said, and Nathan's eyes lifted like he'd been waiting for someone to say it. "You'd stand up in court after what I did?" he asked, almost breaking. "I'd do it for Noah and Lucas," Lena said. "Not for your comfort," and the boundary held steady. The next day, Lena gathered proof, routines, progress notes, drawings, a photo of the refrigerator rules. Nathan met with Mr. Dawson, his legal counsel, and for once, the talk wasn't about money or image. It was about two boys who had already buried too much inside themselves. At lunch, under the large tree, Lucas asked in a tiny voice, "Do we have to go live with the Whitmores?" Lena's chest tightened. "No one moves you without a fight," she promised. "And I'm not going anywhere." And Lucas latched onto her sleeve like it was air. That night, Lena typed her court statement. She didn't write fancy words. She wrote the truth, the panic, the silence, the way the boys flinched from hope then slowly reached for it again. She ended with the line that mattered most. Recovery isn't linear. And left the paper on Nathan's desk like a weapon made of honesty. The regional courthouse smelled like polished stone and nerves. In the hallway outside the family courtroom, the Whitmores sat in stiff, expensive silence, eyes sharp with judgment. Nathan's hand shook once, then stilled when Lena sat beside him. Inside, Judge Eleanor Briggs listened without blinking. Mr. Dawson spoke of stability and consistent support. Claire Whitmore spoke of unfit parenting and outsourcing love, trying to turn Lena's presence into proof of failure. When the judge asked Lena to speak, Lena walked forward without notes. Pain first because the memory still burned. Hope next because the boys were changing. Fear because one wrong line could cost them everything. Then the breakthrough. "I don't have fancy credentials," she said, voice steady, "but I know what it looks like when children stop believing they're safe. When I arrived, they didn't sleep, they didn't trust, they barely existed outside their own fear. Now they laugh, they rest, they reach for their parents again." Her voice wavered once, then strengthened. "You can call me temporary. You can call me unrelated. But I chose them every day," she said. And the room went tight with quiet. Judge Briggs ruled. No grounds to remove custody. The petition was denied. Claire's breath hitched, like she'd been slapped by reality. And Daniel's face hardened, with a promise that this wasn't over. Back at the Cole residence, Noah and Lucas waited on the couch while Simon read a comic book in his deep voice. When the door opened, Lucas bolted forward. "Did we win?" Lena knelt, and her voice finally softened. "We did," she said, and the relief shook her bones. That night, in the hallway, Nathan said, "I don't know how to thank you." "Don't," Lena replied. "Just keep showing up," and the warning carried love inside it. The next day, their first planning session for Northbridge Healing House happened in the glass sitting room. With mismatched chairs and a crayon drawing taped to a window that said, Home, Dr. Helen Price agreed to advise. Aaron Patel offered outreach help. And Mark Ellison sighed, like it offended him, to care, then agreed to back the first phase. Later, Nathan watched Lena kneel beside the boys as they unpacked art supplies for the East Wing. The pain in his face shifted into a decision. He picked up his phone and made a call to Judge Briggs. Not for power, just for protection. 12 days later, Lena received a thick envelope and a short note from Nathan. No more temporary. No more blurred lines. Inside were formal papers naming her co-director of the initiative and legal guardian if Nathan was ever absent, plus a legal submission requesting shared guardianship of Noah and Lucas signed, notarized and heavy with consequences. Lena read the document once. Then again, on the third pass, her hands started to shake. She hadn't asked for this, hadn't even let herself want it. Yet there, it was shared guardianship, permanence. Proof that she was no longer temporary in a life that finally felt real. That night, she sat with Nathan Cole on the back lawn, a low fire crackling nearby. The boys asleep upstairs. "You didn't have to do this," Lena said, voice unsteady. "I know," Nathan replied, "but they need permanence. And so do you." The pain rose first, fear of losing it. Then hope, because it already felt like home. "I'm not perfect," she whispered. "Neither am I," he said. "They don't need perfection. They need a present." She reached for his hand. This time, he held it without hesitation. Something settled deep in her chest, quiet, heavy, real. A midweek afternoon, the intercom buzzed. Nathan answered. His face shifted. "There's a woman here," he said carefully. "She says she's your caregiver." "Ruth Carter." Lena froze. Her body remembered before her mind caught up. "I can send her away," Nathan offered. Lena stared at the word cards in her hands. Trust, forgive, safe. She swallowed. "Let her in." Ruth stood just inside the entry, worn jacket, guarded eyes. "Hey, Mama," Lena said. Steady but distant. "I heard about the center," Ruth murmured. "I was proud. Even if I didn't earn the right to say that." "Why now?" Lena asked. Ruth's voice cracked. "Because I'm sick. And because I failed you." The truth landed hard. Pain first, then a spark of hope, then fear. "Do you want to meet the boys?" Lena asked finally. Ruth hesitated. "Only if you think it's right. We'll go slow," Lena said. That night, Noah and Lucas fired questions from their beds. "She's your caregiver? Why didn't we meet her?" "Sometimes adults break things," Lena said gently. "And fixing them takes time." Lucas nodded. "She can meet us if she plays games." Lena smiled. "Deal." Over the next few days, Ruth visited in short stretches. She listened more than she spoke, sat under the large tree as the boys explained house rules. She brought old snapshots, stories Lena had buried, and cookies that fell apart but tasted like forgiveness trying to form. One evening in the reading room, Ruth handed Lena a small box. Inside was a simple pendant, worn smooth. "I bought it when you were born," Ruth said. "I just didn't know how to give it." Lena held it in silence. Later, alone, she cried, not from pain alone, but from release. By early season, preparations for Northbridge Healing House's first wellness weekend filled the halls. Lena mapped schedules. The boys folded blankets. Nathan joked about order. For a moment, everything felt light. Then the call came from Aaron Patel. "There's a placed youth," he said. 16. Iris Monroe. 5 placements. High risk. Refusing support sessions. This might be her last stop. Lena closed her eyes. Pain. Hope. Fear. "Bring her," she said. Iris arrived with a single bag and a wall of silence. She watched everything. Trusted nothing. That night, Lena found her alone, sketching hard lines into a drawing pad. "Mind if I sit?" "Free country," Iris muttered. They sat in silence. Lena drew beside her badly, honestly. "Why do this?" Iris finally asked. "Because someone stayed when I was too angry to ask," Lena said. Iris glanced at her. Just once. You get one shot. Over days, Iris didn't soften, but she stayed. She joined meals. Laughed once by accident during a game with Nathan and the boys. You see how she watches you? Nathan said quietly. She's guarded, Lena replied. She's attached, Nathan warned. Then we don't let her fall, Lena said, and meant it. Under lantern lights during the retreat, Iris lingered at the edge. When Lena spoke about being unwanted, Iris stepped closer. I used to draw birds, Iris said. You still can, Lena answered. That night, Iris stood at Lena's door. I don't want to go back. Pain, hope, fear, breakthrough. Lena placed a hand on her shoulder. Then stay. We'll find a way. You were never the problem, Lena whispered. And Iris broke quietly, shaking, breath hitching. Finally seen, the next morning, the headline hit. Private Investor Center, under scrutiny, anonymous claims. Oversight questions. Nathan was overcome with anger. Lena went silent. Aaron called again. They're launching a formal review. They may pull the kids. Even Iris, no, Lena said, firm. They won't. That night, going through records, she saw a placement record that didn't belong. A forged professional observation. Someone had planted it. Emergency planning session. Dr. Helen Price. Aaron, Mark Ellison, Nathan, this is sabotage, Lena said. If they control the story, we lose, Mark warned. We tell the truth, Lena said. But Iris chooses. In the art room, Iris listened. They're trying to send me away. Yes. Then let them see me, Iris said, steady. At the public statement, Iris stood tall. I've been called dangerous. Here, someone stayed. I'm not fixed. I'm trying. Cameras flashed. The story changed. 3 days of pressure followed. Attacks. Doubt. Then, a handwritten note arrived for Lena. You saved my child when I couldn't. At breakfast, Noah and Lucas laughed over cereal. Lena watched them, breath steady again. This is worth it, she said. For you too, Nathan replied. She nodded. That night, Lena walked the quiet halls. On the wall, a photo, Noah, Lucas, and Iris laughing together in the East Wing. Iris painted late. I'm still angry sometimes, Iris admitted. You don't have to be finished to be free, Lena said. They sat in silence. And for the first time, the quiet didn't feel empty. I think I could talk to kids like me, Iris said one evening, almost testing the words as she spoke them. Like schools, group homes, places where nobody listens. Lena smiled, warm and certain. You just did. And you're so ready. Iris's mouth curved into something rare and unguarded. Then I want to be the person I need. The next morning, the call came. A representative from the State Youth Services Council spoke carefully, professionally. We've been observing the Northbridge model. It's unconventional, but effective. We'd like to meet, possibly explore replication. Lena ended the call and stared out the window, breath shallow. It was bigger than her now. Bigger than the house, the center, even the kids who had started it all that afternoon. They sat beneath the old tree-noah, reading aloud. Lucas interrupting with wild alternate endings, Iris listening quietly. Nathan leaned against the trunk, his hand brushing Lena's. She didn't pull away. We're all cracked, Lena thought, but the cracks are holding light. She'd once read about repairing broken pottery with gold, honoring the breaks instead of hiding them. That was what they were doing here. Not erasing pain, transforming it. She didn't recognize the man at first. He stood near the reception desk, thin, uncertain, a cheap jacket hanging from narrow shoulders. Something in his posture stirred a memory she didn't want. I'm here to see Lena, said. When he lifted his face, time folded in on itself. It's me, he said. Your father. The air vanished from her lungs. You don't get to say my name, Lena said, low and steady. I know, he rushed. I shouldn't be here. I saw the news. I saw you. I just needed to know if you were okay. Nathan appeared beside her, instantly alert. Do you want me to? I'm fine, Lena said. Stay close. Her father removed his cap. Gray hair, tired eyes. I was lost, he said. Addicted. I didn't know how to stay. It doesn't undo leaving, Lena replied. He nodded, shame folding him inward. From his pocket he pulled a faded photograph of Lena as a child, holding a sketchbook, sunlight in her eyes. You left this behind, he said. I kept it. Her throat tightened. What do you want? Grace, he said quietly. Not forgiveness. Just grace. She exhaled slowly. I can't promise that. But I can promise I won't hate you anymore. He broke then quietly, gratefully. That night, Lena didn't tell anyone. She needed time to place the memory somewhere safe, but unfinished. 2 days later, Iris burst into the office, waving a flyer. My first speaking invite. Youth panel, Atlanta. Lena laughed. You're doing this? I'm terrified, Iris admitted. That means it matters. 6 months passed. The house bloomed with routines. The center thrived. Noah advanced a grade. Lucas invented an entire superhero universe. Iris led art groups. Lena watched them grow with the patience of someone who finally trusted roots. Under the tree, a banner hung, 1 year of staying. Nathan spoke first. We didn't build this with money. We built it with consistency. Unexpectedly, Lena's mother stepped forward. My daughter became what I couldn't. I'm still learning. Noah and Lucas placed 2 gold-painted stones at Lena's feet. This one's gold because it's brave, Noah said. This one's gold because it stays, Lucas whispered. Lena cried openly this time. Later, Iris handed her a sketch for trees leaning toward one another, their roots intertwined. This is growth, she'd written. As dusk fell, Nathan took Lena's hand. Will you marry me? It wasn't dramatic. It was steady, certain. Yes, Lena said. If we keep growing, always, he promised. Spring brought expansion. The second Northbridge Healing House opened quietly, no spectacle. Just families, children, and hope written on handmade signs. We believe in staying, Lena told the small crowd. But healing also needs wings. That evening, as lanterns glowed and laughter carried, Nathan planted a rose cutting beside the sapling Noah and Lucas had named months earlier. Every week, said. Even when it's hard, Lena agreed. Then the letter arrived, plain envelope. 5 words. She's not who you think. Nathan read it twice. Said nothing, but shadows followed. Online speculation. A whisper campaign. Someone suggested Lena's past was fabricated, weaponized. When Nathan finally asked, Lena answered calmly. I changed my last name at 18 to choose myself. I'm sorry, he said. So am I, she replied. That anyone thinks survival is something to be ashamed of. The staff closed ranks. We protect this place, Lena told them. They can question me. They don't get to harm the children. Iris handed Lena a drawing, Lena holding a lantern in a dark hall, hands reaching toward the light. Later, standing outside the twins' room, Lena watched Nathan tuck them in gently. Are you staying? He asked. She leaned into him. I'm always staying. Outside, the rose and the sapling rested in the same soil, roots entwined, growing stronger together. Healing hadn't erased the past. It had transformed it, and that was enough. Keep moving, Iris said softly behind her. We've got you. That night, Lena walked the halls of the original Northbridge Healing House alone. She paused at every doorway, remembering panic, breakthroughs, hands once clenched in fear now open. By the time she reached the front steps, headlights swept the lot. Nathan stepped out, rain on his coat, a folder raised. Background checks. Old records. Every clearance you ever submitted? He held her gaze. It's clean. Lena tilted her head. You doubted that? No, he said. I just needed the world to see what I already knew. And what's that? That your past makes you powerful, not dangerous. They stood together as the wind stirred the banner above the entrance. It read, "Safety lives here." Lena exhaled. "Then let's remind them why." Winter came quietly. Snow softened the grounds of the Cole residence, muting old paths into something new. Investigations closed. Backers stayed. The noise faded. But Lena felt a question still breathing under the calm. Downstairs, Nathan sorted holiday cards. Photos lined the mantel art explosions, capes, laughter mid-fall. He handed her one from Noah and Lucas. 3 trees. 2 boys, 2 adults. We love you. Nathan brushed her hand. How are you, Riley? Lena considered the scars she'd stopped hiding. I don't want to erase the record, she said. I want to mark it. He listened. A gallery, she continued. Not just happy endings. Survival. Wounds spoken out loud. A place where people honor what they lived through. A hall of resilience, he said. Yes, she smiled. Not hidden, honored. They built it together. Teens brought art, notes, fragments of truth. One painting showed a masked figure split with gold light. A poem read, I learned to stand again. On opening day, warm lights glowed. Dr. Naomi Feldman stood nearby. Families filled the space. Nathan spoke plainly. Wounds, when spoken, become pathways, not prisons. Noah held up a jar of polished stones. They were cracked, he said. Lucas added, so we painted them gold again. Lena's knees buckled. She caught the wall. Breath stopping, then came the release, tears shaking free as time slowed. She whispered an apology to the girl she used to be. I didn't know how strong we'd get. Later at dinner, there was laughter and burnt gingerbread. After the boys slept, Nathan slid an envelope across the table. An invitation. Community forum speaker, Iris Monroe. Would you stand with her? He asked. Of course, Lena said. I'm not going anywhere. The early season arrived bright. At the community forum, Iris stood steady beneath a projected mural wings breaking through shadow. I used to think my voice was dangerous, she said. Then someone listened. Lena followed. Recovery isn't linear. It happens when someone stays even during the storm. Applause rose and held. On the drive home, Noah slept against the window. Lucas's drawing lay open between them for figures under a sunrise. At home, Lena and Nathan tucked the boys in together. In the hallway, he whispered, We did this. We keep doing it, she replied. Several seasons later, the grounds hummed again. The hall expanded. New sites planned. Under the large tree, Angela confirmed approvals. Nathan asked Lena to lead mentor training. No shortcuts, Lena said. Agreed. The boys ran back and pressed into her sides. She wrapped them close, breath hitching, then steadied. This is how strength forms. A former youth arrived with bikes tied in ribbons. Laughter spilled down the paths as they rode beneath leaves that filtered light like confetti. At the garden edge, the rose and saplings stood thicker now, roots entwined. Storms over? Nathan asked. I don't know, Lena said. But we built something that storms can't wash away. That evening, the table was full. Plans overlapped. Glasses clinked. Later, the boys showed off a blanket fort glowing with soft lights. Lena watched them, once silent, now soaring. She leaned into Nathan. Outside, fireflies stitched the dark with light. Healing wasn't finished. It never would be. Asterisk, but it was persistent, imperfect, bright.